Hello, everyone. Welcome to a great evening with me. My name is Kalu Aja. This is Money Spaces with Kalu Aja. Here we talk money, personal finance, the economy, and how it impacts your personal wallet. All this stuff we're going to talk about is going to be for you. How can you use these topic to enhance your own financial literacy? So welcome, everyone. Today we're going to talk about cash flow, some call it treasury, right? How to invest those excess cash that your business or yourself generates. And we're going to see how we can learn. I've brought in a few friends today from Cowrywise. They have a new product. We're going to talk to them about it. But let me just start off by giving the intro, right? So a friend told me, and I give this story all the time, a friend told me how in Abuja, most SMEs or brand new companies fail after 2 years, and I asked him, why 2 years? Why is that magical 24 months? Why that number? And he said, well, that's when rent expires. So once the rent is done, the company doesn't have cash to pay for new rent, so it fails. The point is this: the company may be profitable, right? The company could still be profitable, but it has no cash. So revenues can be generated, and that can be sales, but that might not be cash sales. We know how you go supply even a big company. Maybe you have a contract to supply, say, Shell. They don't pay you in cash. They pay you a check, or they give you a local purchase order payable in 90 days. So you go source raw materials, you pay staff, you pay NEPA, and you do the supply. Then you start to wait. They become accounts payable, right? Or account receivables, right? So you're waiting for your funds to come in. And all that time, you are running your business yourself. So cash is tight for you. You have profitability, but you have no cash. You have no means to get liquid. And that's what really kills businesses, right? That you have profit, you have customers, but you cannot survive without cash. That's on one end. Another thing that kills businesses is that you have a good idea, you go around to your family and friends, and you get lots of money as capital for your business. Then you have all this capital, and it's in the bank. So you raise 2 million naira. The 2 million naira is in the bank. The problem is that the bank is paying you, say, 3% per annum. But inflation rate in Nigeria is about 17%. So you'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this next month. I'm going to buy this next quarter. And the principal, i.e. the capital that you've raised, just depreciates due to inflation. So you got the money, you didn't use it, but you go back to the bank, and surprisingly, there's nothing there for you you can't buy anything with what's left. I mean, the money, it's there, it's not stolen, but it just cannot buy you what you plan out for. So on both ends, you're like, wow, you can't invest because inflation is rising faster than what you would get if you just left money in the bank. And then on the other end, you're doing a lot of business, but folks are giving you local purchase orders. They're giving you checks payable next month. Let's not even talk about if you should do that. But you're caught between that rock and a hard place where there is no cash. Cash is the blood of the business. And I mean that literally. If you do not have cash, essentially you have no business. Profitability is not going to keep you afloat. That's the first key learning I will say from this space, right? That you can have revenues, right? And those revenues, you take away your cost of production, you then have profit. And then that profit is what you basically say, hey, I have a good idea. But that profit itself has got to be cash profit, because you can't pay rent with profit, right? You pay rent with cash. So that's the point. We have to seek out cash all the time. Hence, we brought in Cowrywise. They've got this great product. It's called Sprout. I see Cowrywise there. Obi, good to have you back as a co-host. Guys, Obi helps us here with the management of the space and the behind the scenes. She's tracking the DMs, taking all those calls, putting up important quotes that we make. So if we're talking and you want to just send something across, you can send her a DM or send me a DM or whatever. She helps us do the management of the spaces. Obi, how are you doing? Welcome again. You were off a bit.
Yeah. Yes, I couldn't hear anything, so I had to change my data network provider. So
you have a Starlink link. You have a Starlink now. Are you using the new Elon Musk Starlink? Is that what you're on now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, good. Okay. As for big girl and all, I was like, it's been very well. It's going very well. It's a slow holiday, so I'm watching Netflix, drinking beer, and just doing nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Great.
You're living the life.
I am living the life. Thank you so much. Yes. All right, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. Let me introduce my guest, Cowrywise. I think it's Busola. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Hi, Carl. Yes, this is Busola.
Busola. Okay. I'll just call you Busola if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Excellent. So welcome to the Spaces, Busola, right? So like I said, here we talk about money, personal finance, and of course the economy. And everything we say is geared towards the individual. So we want the individual to essentially learn and to learn by doing as well. So we brought you in here. You've heard my story about CashFlow, the Abuja, how a business operates on cash, not really profitability. You need profit to make the cash, but without the cash, you're going to fail. So let's just start from the very, very top. What is Sprout? Introduce Cowry to us, introduce Sprout to us, just for those that don't know you, then we can take it from there. I've got tons of questions for you.
Oh, okay, awesome. All right, hi everyone. I'm pretty excited to be joining this space. For Cowrywise is basically a wealth management platform. We are a fund portfolio manager licensed by the SEC, and basically we manage wealth on behalf of like thousands of Nigerians and Africans. And recently we discovered that. So for us, our goal is to democratize access to investing for retail investors, individuals. But we recently realized that there is a gap that needs to be addressed when it comes to investing for businesses. And that was why Sprout was created. So in simple terms, Sprout is like a treasury management tool. So Carlo, you've said a lot about cash flow. Honestly, cash is king. Like, it's not just enough for your business to generate cash. You also have to manage the cash. And Sprout is trying to give you like an access by which you can have access to high yielding money market funds from like top fund managers in the country. You can have access to tenured investments where you're like, okay, I have, as a business, maybe I have a future obligation in 90 days, 180 days, and then I want to set cash aside that will earn me some interest. And it can apply to everybody, because there are some times where as a business you can take a loan and maybe you want to use it to purchase like machinery or something, and you're not going to do that in a month. You can't allow your money just to be sitting. I mean, banks like where you don't do anything with your money. You just leave it there and zero cost to them.
Yeah.
And they use your money for different things. But we're trying to ensure that people or businesses realize that okay, there are these ways to invest. There's this, you can earn interest on your money and it can create like an additional revenue stream per se to your business. And that's what really, and we do that on one central platform. I mean, Cowrywise is known for 21st century technology. We're a fintech, so we have strong technical capacities, right? And then you can just do this on like a platform, no need for like a middleman, no stress. We're not in the business of sending letters, calling and emails. No, we don't do that here.
Gotcha.
So like Sprout is just like a simple solution for you to invest money for your business, really.
So like I went to the site, right? I do Cowrywise, right? So essentially what it is this. I have a small business in Nigeria as well. I do a lot of transactions.
Okay.
So I go to Cowry, I open up the account as a corporate. So it's only for corporates or kind of person also do Sprout?
Oh, so it's mainly for corporates. I would say registered business entities.
Registered,
so
okay.
Organizations, corporates, SMEs, startups, entities in general.
What if I'm a lawyer, like a doctor? Like if I have a CAC, I can open up Sprout. Is that it? If I have CAC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are a limited liability, and I think if you also have a business name registration, then definitely.
Okay, excellent. So now I open up Sprout, right? And on the Sprout, I could do the transfer from my bank account to the Sprout, essentially. So I move the what's it called, the cash to Sprout, and then I can choose how long and where to invest that cash that I have that is excess to my needs at the moment. Just like how a treasury guy in a big multinational will do.
Exactly.
And it makes a lot of sense because you've added something that I didn't even think of. If I was in Lagos, right, and I had to pay for generator maintenance, first, what's the minimum to get into the Sprout thingy? Can I do 1 million? Or
Yes. So interestingly, our minimum is 1 million.
1 million, right? That's the minimum. Okay, for a business.
Yes.
Okay. So, but if I do 1 million, so for me personally, this is what happens with my business. I have money in the bank, right? And I know I don't need the money right now. And I want to invest it in the fixed deposit with the bank. The problem for me is that, Nigeria, once you invest, the next thing LASMA comes, or the guys for signages come, or the landlord, or their or generator has spoiled, I want to fix something. So you have to go to the bank and say, hey, it's that money I gave you last week, am I going to need it back right now? Then they tell you, okay, we're going to break the interest and you're going to pay a charge. No fault of theirs, it's my fault. But I can't plan, so I take the money out, I get charged a fee. You do that twice a quarter, it's not worth it. But you can't leave the money in the savings account because it really gets you anything. You want to invest it. So what I did like with the Sprout was I could put the money in, and once it's in, I could take out 50 grand. Am I getting that correct? I could put in the million and I could take out 50,000 from and then pay my generator repair. Is that,
yeah? Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay. So that solves that first problem. So essentially, I have an account. I can open up an account with Sprout. I move all my cash from my business and my bank to Sprout. Where does Sprout invest it?
All right. So first of all, we offer money market funds from several fund managers. So we are in partnerships with the big names, the likes of ARM, the likes of United Capital, Trust Bank, AfriInvest, Meristem. Like these are popular names in the asset management space, and you have the power as a business to select whichever fund would deem best for your businesses. And that's another thing Sprout is there to solve. We are trying to ensure transparency. We're trying to give you like diverse options instead of just a straight jacket approach. You have different funds, and then when you come to our platform, you can see how the funds have performed in the past, the constituents and whatnot, and that can inform your business making. And I think for the fund managers, the outlets for these monies are basically three things that Sprout is built on is safety, liquidity, and yield. And if you're trying to achieve safety and liquidity, then you know that your go-to investments would be short-term, safe investments. Nobody's doing crypto. Nobody's doing crypto. Nobody's doing stocks. So we're looking at high-yielding commercial papers from solid issuers, high-yielding short-term facilities. And I think, funny enough, fund managers invest with banks. Or here's the thing, fund managers have an advantage that a person or a business doesn't have. They have the ability to pull, multiple, everybody's money, like pool investment schemes.
Yeah.
You can pull in a lot of money. And in essence, that's also why mutual funds are the go-to investment vehicle for everybody. Like they put money together, and with a lot of money, they're able to bargain better rates with a bank than a business that just had 2 million or 3 million would. So like that's where we come in.
Yeah.
And that is also an advantage. So those are currently, the options that we have on Sprout.
So excellent point, Busla, you say that. So because first of all, money market means investing for less than 12 months. So money market is short term, right? And I'm on the Cowrywise site, and I see there are like three options. There's the moderate, there's the conservative, and there's the aggressive, right? So if I was a more aggressive guy, it's more equities, I'm not going to go there. I want to do more of, say, conservative, because this is my money for salaries. The money I have in bank account is my salary money. I don't want to play with it, right? So I go to conservative, right? And I see lots of funds there. I see SFX. It's paying about 8.54% per annum. This is in the past. This is the historical performance in the past. And I also see it's giving me a return from 2019, 2020, 2021. And I have it across all the funds. So all the funds available for me to choose to invest. I have SFS, I have AfriInvest, I have United Capital, ARM, Trust Bank, Meristem. I see 3 years performance. I see the annual return and all that. I can do a Twitter feed and share it and all that. But so very impressive. So I choose that, okay, hey, I like this bank or this fund. I'm going to put my money in there. If I do United Capital, it's about 7.4%. And I just say invest now. But the point again that I was going to highlight that should make that is very important is that because I am investing with a group, it's not my 1 million, quote unquote. It's all of us are getting a better rate because we're investing as a fund via.
Exactly.
Okay, you want to talk about that? I really want people to get that it's group investing, so the costs are lower, but I get a higher treasury yield on that investing.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because in my job, right, I have relationships with like several banks, and if you are talking to a bank and if you want to invest money in a bank talks to you using two factors: how long you want to keep the money and what volume you want to invest in. And if you are the two tricks or the two rules to the game are, if you are going to keep the money for long or if you are bringing in higher volume, then you can renegotiate with the bank, you can fight for a better yield, right? So that is really where the power of us like Cowrywise and Sprout comes from. That, okay, just as you are a business and you are bringing in 1 million, there are hundreds of other businesses too that are looking to invest, and we are like an aggregator. We pull your money together and then we're able to negotiate like a better rate for using counterparties that we trust are safe. And we do our own due diligence and whatnot. So it's really the power of pulling money together. I mean, a lot can be achieved when everyone comes together. So yeah, that's really how it works.
Love it. And let's get specific, right? I saw on the options that I have, and I like this guy. This is the Lotus Halal Fixed Income Fund. So essentially, this is like if I was, so we say, a non-interest owner, or if I was, say, a Muslim or a guy that was, say, quote unquote ethical, I don't want to earn interest. I can select here, and I'm going to read out what it says here. I can select the Lotus Halal Income Fund. The returns are about 5.8, right? It says the Lotus Halal Fund is an open-ended fund that invests in fixed income instruments such as the Sukuk, which are the non-interest bond, and of course the fixed return contract, the Ijira, the lease, and the Marabaha, the cost plus interest. So there is an option for, should we say, the non-traditional interest earners. If I don't want to earn just pure interest, there's an option for me right there to select that, and my fund will only be in that, i.e. it will not go to, say, the normal traditional interest, it will just be in the halal funds. Is that it?
Yeah, okay, so this is us moving away from, Sprout.
This is not Sprout?
No, this is the core app.
Okay.
This is for the retail investors.
So I'm asking, can I get this with Sprout? That's what I'm asking.
Currently, no.
Not at the moment. Okay.
Available on Sprout, yeah. What's available on Sprout are short-term funds.
Gotcha.
But definitely, we have plans to that product would be focused on maybe halal centered organizations. Maybe we can have like Muslim society that's looking to invest contributions. So that is something that we introduce in the very short term. But the halal investments are actually available currently to our retail investors, and it speaks to what we as a firm are trying to achieve. Where we talk about everybody should have access to wealth building, whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. So I think that for us is why we ensure that we have Islamic funds, halal centered funds on our platform, and we even also give people the option to actually not earn interest on their funds, because we actually think religious beliefs are something we should respect for people and incorporate it into their daily lives.
Excellent.
So that's not fair. Yeah.
So excellent. So what I hear, let's talk about inflation, right? As a treasury guy in a small SME, I'm just a small guy. I've got about 2 million in cash. Inflation is crazy right now. Yeah, exactly. So how does this help? Like I know this is better. The yield that I see online on the Sprout side, it's higher than what I get, say, in a bank. 90-day treasury bills are about, say, 4%, 3% maximum, right? I don't want to lock my money in for a 5-year bond, which might pay higher. So I'm comparing myself with, say, a fixed deposit in the bank. And what I see on the Sprouts ad, yeah, it's higher than what I get in the bank, right? I saw the nice graph you guys did, but still, it's not hitting that inflation thing. Do you have any suggestions for me? What can I do? I know it's not going to hit the 17, but what can I do to sort of bridge that gap? I want to learn.
honestly, Nigeria's private market is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're an economist, you realize that our current structure defies all economic logic. But this is the economy we're in, and we just have to do, we have to do it. We have to deal with the hands that we are dealt. Yeah. So the thing is that, and in fact, actually, at the last treasury bill auction, a 91-day treasury bill was actually about 2% per annum, which is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
180 days was about, I think, 3.9, but that's just where we are now. And I think for investing, right, as a Nigerian and as a business, I think for us now, the best we can do is to, so when you're looking at your returns vis-a-vis inflation, what you're interested in is your real adjusted return. And for us, I really believe that the for you to earn positive real adjusted returns now would mean that you have to take excessive risk. I mean, you might decide you want to play in the equities market, but the thing with risk is that there's a possibility of gains, and there's also a possibility of loss.
Yeah.
So as an investor, you have to be very careful what's your risk appetite, and that will determine what you put money in. But when we were building this product, we thought, okay, these are businesses that, first of all, they require liquidity, right? You need your funds in short time. And, those kind of funds that need high liquidity, it wouldn't make sense for you to put it in equities that, market prices can go up or down.
Yeah.
You mentioned the 5-year bond. I mean, oh my gosh, I always have to talk to people that when you see a bond and a bond is showing you, okay, a coupon of 13%, oh my gosh, 13% return, that's wrong.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. So just to explain to the folks listening, right? Very, very important. When you see the bond coupon, so you see all those bonds, 12% bond, 15% Euro bond, that is not the return, the yield that you're going to make. Notice, not my words, that's not the yield you're going to make. The coupon on the bond will never change. But the yield, what you're going to get back, is going to change as interest rates go up and down. So when you want to buy a bond, write this down. You want to ask your banker, what is the yield to maturity? You want to make sure you ask him the yield as at today. So if I buy that bond today, right, what is the quote unquote yield? He will then tell you, based on the interest rate, based on you buying at a discount or at a premium, this is going to be your yield. When the bond is issued, exactly, and when the bond is maturing, that's when the yield and the coupon are the same. After then, they sort of fluctuate. So please don't take money from the bank paying you 10% to go chase 17% coupon. Not good.
There's the other aspect of price, right? If you're not expecting, because a bond is a long-term instrument.
Correct.
If you're not expecting to hold it to maturity, if you're expecting to actually sell it at some point in the future, then pricing is super important. If you buy a bond at 100 naira and when you want to sell it 98 naira,
there was a point, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if the coupon you earned can, cover for that price loss. But before I deviate too much, so we've looked at all those other asset classes, and we've looked at the product that's found or the goal that Spark is trying to achieve. So for us, we said, okay, let us stick to short-term high yielding instruments. So you are seeing like 8.4% on our platform.
Yeah.
While that is not, that is not close to inflation, but it is a lot better than the alternatives. Like I said, we live in Nigeria, we function in Nigeria's financial markets, and we have to find the best way forward that doesn't create, a way that will take excessive risk. And we're trying to push capital preservation, and then we're going to do that by investing in short-term safe instruments. And the best way to benchmark, the yields that Sprout offers is to look at what your bank would give you, or look at the treasury bill market, what's that yielding. The rates are ridiculous, and you can see that what we offer is significantly higher than that.
So let's go back to your initial comment. Let's do safety, liquidity, and yield. Safety.
Okay.
Safety. Cowrywise and Sprout are registered by SEC.
Yeah.
So we have that regulatory cover, right? So we're registered by SEC. So safety means that we are only doing money market, which means we're not taking risk with your capital. It's capital preservation. We're investing in money market, which are treasury bills issued by the government, high quality bonds, paper issued by the banks, commercial papers, which are high yielding papers as well. So we're doing that in terms of the selection of where we're investing. We're doing just money market, short term. Short term is also very important, Busla, because if interest rates go up, inflation goes up, we are repricing at a shorter rate, right? We're not locking our money in for long term. You want to talk about that?
You know your economics.
I'm just learning from you, Mr. B.
No, you're very good at what you do. Don't be modest. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's another thing that I think it's the basic principles of how to interpret interest rates environment. So, for instance, as an investor, if a lot of things are pointing towards a rise in interest rates, then the best thing you can do is actually to invest in shorter term instruments. And that is exactly what is happening in like the global markets. Russia and Ukraine put all of us in trouble. Cost prices. Yes, now fight that we were not involved, but everybody is feeling the hit. Like prices have been skyrocketing, energy. I mean, I bought bread yesterday at 900 naira. You couldn't imagine my shock. But everything is going up, and then you're seeing a lot of news. Oh, central banks are raising rates, trying to curb inflation. Everybody's just trying to reel with that thing.
Yeah.
And in that type of environment, best thing you can do honestly is to invest in shorter term instruments, so that the goal is they have a shorter time to maturity. So when they mature, you can easily you can negotiate let's say higher rate. And I mean, CBN recently increased the FPR, although the impact hasn't really been significant.
Yeah.
But the whole reason is that if I'm investing for a shorter time, if rates are going up, then when my money matures, that I can put it into, if I'm getting the same security and the rates have actually improved, rather than you locking up money for like a very long time, and if you're not trying to sell it, you can sell it at a loss because rates have gone up. So, I completely agree with you. That's another reason why currently in the market you see a lot of people, investing for like the shorter term. So that they can position when there's like a change, pricing in interest rates. Yeah.
Excellent. So safety, we've seen that you are SEC approved. Safety, we've seen that the selection of assets that you make are short term. They are less risk assets, so we're good there. For liquidity, we've seen that with Sprout, you don't have to worry about breaking your investment, right? Once you do that minimum investment in, the flexibility kicks in. So I can put money in there. I can take money and pay for my staff. I can buy diesel. If there's fuel scarcity, they need more money, I can give them more money. My initial principle is still earning that high interest, but I can go in and out without breaking. I can't do that with a bank, right? I love banks, but I can't do that with a bank, right? So this is a key. Yeah. Then the last one I really want to hit on before we allow folks to come in and talk is the yield. The yield that I see on Sprout are a lot higher than the yield that you get in the bank. So on those three notes of the safety, liquidity, and yield, look at you guys are getting a pass. I'm getting a big A+ on that. So good call. So I've shared the link to Sprout on Twitter. I think Obianji is going to share it out in case folks want to click on that yield and take it from there and ask you more questions. But I have a few guys I want to speak. I have Ikechukwu and Mide. Let's start with Mide's collection. Mide's collection. Sorry, I can't read Twitter names that fast, so I do apologize if I destroy it sometimes. How are you doing? Do you want to unmute and speak? Mide, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Going once, going twice, and let's take Ikechukwu. Ikechukwu, how are you doing?
Very fine, Mr. Carlo. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Where are you calling in from?
From Aba.
Aba, nice. So what have you heard? What have you heard and how has it touched you? Is it making you to go open an account right now?
To be honest, I didn't hear much. I just came in like a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Maybe she would have summarized it by we are so this, we are that.
I can give you a summary real quick if you want. I see that you're a fashion designer and a crypto promoter, right? That's what you do.
Yes,
okay. So imagine you had an account right now and you wanted to go buy textiles from Kaduna textile company, right? You put money in the bank, you want to go buy, but they now call you and tell you that that bill you want to go buy, the cost has gone up by 50%. Before then, you had taken out cash to travel to Kaduna and you have fixed the rest back into the bank. So you have locked it in for 3 months. You can't touch it again, right? What do? You have to go borrow, because if you go to the bank, you lose your fix, they charge you a fee. If you open an account called Sprout run by Cowrywise, right, you can simply put your excess cash, all your excess cash into Cowrywise. You can select where you want to invest it in. You can say, I want to do this fund, you put the money into that fund, you know exactly what interest they're going to pay you on that fund. Now, if you then need more money, you simply go back and say, hey, I'll take more money. They give you more money from your initial account, no fees, no breakage, all that kind of stuff. You go buy your textiles, you come back, you make all those nice boxers, you sell them, you make a lot of money, you deposit it back into Cowrywise. So you are managing, that's what they call treasury. You are optimizing how much cash you are keeping, and you are investing the cash you don't need. But you are doing it yourself. You don't have to call any bank. You're sitting down and you're seeing the rates and you're doing it yourself. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I want to ask, thanks for he's explaining it to me in a layman's understanding. I want to ask, let's say that maybe you invested for a particular spot for maybe like 3 months and you didn't touch the money, like what interest, what will your interest be? And what's the least product they have, as in the least money you can invest?
Yeah,
yes.
Bisola is right here. Bisola, you can answer the least. I think she said the least was $1 million, and then for the interest, she can take you up. Go for it.
Okay, so hi, thank you for your question. So the least you can invest is actually 1 million naira, and for the interest, so currently. We have interest from several funds, going as high as 8.5% per annum. So that's what those funds are currently yielding. But I must add that, interest rates can go up or they can go down depending on, what's happening in the financial market and in Nigeria in general and what we can bargain for. But currently we have funds that are yielding as high as 8.5%.
Okay, just break it down. Someone invested 1 million naira and expecting at least invested it for 3 months. That 8.5% would be like, the interest would be like how much?
You want the naira figure?
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking Google right now. Just give me a few seconds, to come back to you. But I'm just saying, do you understand the concept, though? Just like a normal bank would pay you interest.
Yes, I understand fully.
Okay.
I understand.
Did you have any other questions? I can get that to you on DM. Did you have any other questions? Do you want to clarify? Are you going to open an account tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Sunday, Mr. Carl.
There's no tomorrow in Igbo land. You know what I mean? So are you going to open an account on Monday?
I have to still check myself, check other things, and do research on the Cowrywise. I'm just hearing about it for the first time.
Really?
So I won't just promote this. Yes. I'm just hearing it for the first time. So I have to do my research, look at the things she said, and also cross-checking with the research I made and see if it's what I can do.
Okay. What? Let me ask you a question. When you want to invest money in a bank or in a financial institution, what's the one thing that you look out for? What drives you in selecting where you want to invest?
Well, before I invest in a bank, I look at how long maybe their profits. I don't know the terminologies, all those bank terminologies, but I know you understand. I just look at this bank, what's their ranking, like in Nigeria or in Africa, like that should be last 2 years or so. Zenith Bank, it's not like I'm promoting for them. They were ranked 10th in Africa. That should be first in Nigeria. So for you to be ranked, so that means you are doing well. And you don't want to invest money in an institution that's not doing well. So those are some of the researches I do before I invest. You go mad up when you go, so those are the things. Another things too that I check out before I invest.
Yeah, I hear you. So I mean, if you put in $1 million, Busola, I can give him the figure. You can give him the figure. If you put in $1 million at 8%, let's just say 8% APR, right? Just to save, you're looking at nearly 19,500, nearly. But you see, it's the rate we're quoting to you is annual. Anytime you see us quote a rate, that is annual. So what you simply do is you take the annual rate, then you divide by the number of quarters. If you're doing quarterly, it's going to be 4. If it's annual, it's going to be 2. So if you're doing 8%, you just divide it by 2. It's going to be semi-annual. I don't confuse too much. But the rate is quoted per annum. And these guys are also registered with SEC. So you get that covered. And listen, these guys have been looked at by SEC. Their books have been found okay, and then you can look at it. But essentially, if you do a lot of cash management, right, Cowrywise is good for you. You can put the money in, take the money out as you like. You don't have to go to the bank back and forth and all that. So think about it, right? If you want to talk to them, they have a DM. Talk about it with them, right? Do you have any other questions for Busola since he's here?
No, I don't.
Busola, do you have any questions for him?
Question? No, I don't have any.
He said he has never heard of you guys, so you guys have got to go do it.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm actually, we've been working for about 4 years or even more. Like, we're actually a well-known name, especially with like individual investors.
They are online. Ikechukwu, I'm online. How I'm online? So Adim.
So I'm not sure I can hear you.
Yes, it's Otumba. Otumba's mic was crashing. But Ikechukwu, thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Cover. So how are they, ma?
Okay, we don't.
You have to speak English.
I am speaking to my demographic, in that language, so I hear you. Come on, over Busola, don't worry, we're not selling you, Busola.
I have no idea what you are saying.
Twitter is saying wrong, but hey, you know. Olabode, Olabode, how you doing? Olabodan, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, fine.
Great, go for it.
Good evening. Okay. Maybe about your book, and I've just been looking at it since. But about Cowrywise, please, I have some things I want to ask. I don't know. This is the first time I just installed the app. I registered since, but I've not really put my money in. But something happened to me recently. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello?
I can hear you, Olabode. I can hear you.
Okay, something happened to me recently because I just freelance and I'm a programmer. I see my money once in a while, not monthly and weekly. And I've been scared when it comes to saving my money in the bank. I don't have alternative. But something happened to me like 2 months ago. I was stopped in Abuja here, and then some guys collect my SIM card. Before I get home, they withdraw my money.
Wow.
Weekend, by the time I get back, I'm talking about a lot of money, everything empty. Now, I just want to ask about all these investments. I'm not really looking for very, very high return. I just want to understand the risk ahead. I can't be using my money to buy the money to buy crypto to give a hand. And if I'm putting my money in, I'll risk. What is the level of risk? Sorry, I'm taking on all this money, because I don't want to use all these banks again. Because the banking system is even messed up now. SIM card is vulnerable, and your SIM is connected to all your banks, and then someone is in trouble. The guys that even took my phone at TY in Abuja here. I think 2 hours later we end up we found the phone, but they just removed the SIM. All they need is just SIM. They don't need the phone. They don't need it for anything, and they move beyond how they are even moving it. I don't understand. They are moving beyond bank limits.
I hear
That's
you.
why I say bank is.
Yeah, no, good question. Good question, Oliver. Let's get Busla to talk about the security of Cowrywise and all that. So remember, like, first of all, in terms of how they are investing, right? They are investing in money market, which means they're not taking a lot of risk with the principal. They are only investing in bank deposits, treasury bills, commercial papers, nothing crypto, nothing shares. So you're going to get your principal and all that. But let Busla talk more about the security really around the app, if you may.
Oh, okay, awesome. But before I go, I just want to confirm. Olabode, yeah, are you speaking from the perspective of investing for yourself or for your business?
For myself. I'm a freelancer.
Okay.
Yes, I'm myself. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I think the first thing I would like to touch on is your comments on risk, and it would also filter into, I think it was something else, but I was just going, so for us at Cowrywise, right, most of our products are invested in low risk instruments, and like Kalu mentioned, high yielding bank deposits. Like we have a better, like how happens, we have a better chance to negotiate like better rates with the bank than individuals do, and that's because of our power to aggregate a lot of money that we used to invest. And then we have a risk management framework. We do extensive analysis before we say we want to maybe purchase like a short-term commercial paper. So we have our checks and balances, right? And on the app, we actually offer, so depending on the type of investor you are, we actually have like a risk assessment framework that you can take. We ask you like a series of questions. How do you feel about, can you tolerate if you invest in shares, if shares go up or go down? We have like several questions that can determine, okay, based on you, this is your personal characteristics, what's your risk level like? So we actually have people on Cowrywise that are aggressive investors. They like to take risks. They want to invest for a long time. And for those type of investors, what we usually do is that, okay, we have equity funds that they can invest in, and those funds, invest in like shares of MTN, shares of Zenith Bank, or shares of GT. And so those investors don't get scared when maybe there's a market downturn and prices go up. Like they are there for the long haul. And again, these are funds that are licensed, are registered with the SEC, so there's that safety. But for you, you're sounding like a low risk investor, and I completely understand. And that's when Cowrywise is really for you. We have conservative instruments, we have conservative funds where you can invest short term, where your capital is preserved. There is nothing like any money is missing. No, we're not in that business. And we actually have like the security, we have bank grade security to do that. And for us, like I said, we're actually the only fintech that is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission as a fund portfolio manager. So we actually have the regulatory backing to do what we do. And we're not a one-stop shop or a get-rich-quick scheme. We don't even do that at all. So your funds are safe with us, really.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everyone has experienced what you're experiencing right now in terms of the safety. Even anywhere in the world, it's the same. Phones are now your bank. So if someone grabs your phone, they've grabbed your bank. So you want to be very, very careful, like password, the two-factor authentication, all that kind of stuff. It's not a Nigerian thing. It's just something that's now a risk because of how we bank. So I would say institutionally, Cowry is excellent, but on our own side as well, we have to be very, very careful. I do sorry for that loss here in short, yeah.
Can you hear me? The thing is, I'm not even talking about the password thing now, because I know that one will not be a problem to me. But whether we keep our password for bank, Nigeria Bank, or Nigeria Bank, whether we keep our password or we don't keep our password, any random human being can pick up our SIM and withdraw our money. That one is sure. Now, for Cowrywise, you understand, conservative fund type, low risk. I'm seeing annual return. If I'm going to put in 4 or 5 million naira, and I want to get it, maybe I want to get, let's say 5 million naira, and I want to use 2 million after 3 months. Can I just get 2 million out of the 5 million I have there in the account? Thank you.
Okay, yes. I mean, so it depends on the product that you are investing in on our platform. Like, we offer several products, and that's because we're trying to cater to everybody's needs. So we actually have a product called Emergency Fund, where you can put money in, and when the need arises, you can take it out. And I think that's even the best. That's going to be one of the best products for you, seeing that you have, maybe let's say you have 5 million and then you want to take out 2 million in maybe 2 months or whatnot. So emergency funds are basically the best route to do that. We allow that flexibility. When you put in money, you can take it out at any time. There's no hassle on that. And then so we also have our core savings product. For most of the plans that we offer on our savings product is actually locked. And it's locked. People can't access it till. So if I say I want to save strictly for 3 months, 6 months, maybe I put a lump sum at the beginning, or maybe I want to put money every month. I won't access the money till my plan matures, till the end of those 6 months. And that is catered to people that they want to build saving habits. They want to be more strict with their saving and investing habits, and they don't want to touch their funds for a very long time, because we all know there's beauty in compounding and when you leave money for a long time. But for someone like you that you want flexibility of your funds, then definitely our emergency fund product would be of awesome great use to you than the core savings product. So we actually have several products to meet your needs. We have Stash. Stash is a P2P wallet where you can use to transfer to different people on the Cowrywise app, or transfer back to your bank account. We have the flexibility there. And even at so we have the broad umbrella of our products is split into savings and investments. And in investments, you can actually put your money in Naira mutual funds, the conservative ones we've talked about, and then you can sell your units and get your money in about a day or two. So we have several products that can meet whatever need or whatever goal that you are trying to accomplish. But off the top of my head, for the flexibility that you would want, I would recommend you choosing our emergency fund product.
Thank you, Mr. Kalu. I will send you DM later.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for buying the book, and I'll appreciate you as well. Thank you, sir. All right, Adeniyi, what's going on?
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine. Please, I have some questions, please. Is this app in any way associated with AP, Agro Partnership Investment? That's my number one question, because I've read in some contents about this. This is not my first time hearing about Cowrywise, and what I read about it is not something good, to be honest. And
you want to take your Busola? Busola? Did you hear his question?
I think was his question. I think his question was if we're affiliated to any agricultural scheme.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, no, we are not.
So simple answer, they're not. Adeni, they're not. Simple answer.
You say you have SEC backup because that name doesn't mean something. It doesn't guarantee.
They are registered by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So any institution that is selling to the public or advertising to the public to sell securities has to have a SEC license. That's the law.
And can we confirm this?
Of course, yeah. If you go to SEC, Adeni, if you go to SEC, right? SEC has got a portal. You just put their name in there and you can check, not just for them, for anybody that tells you they are SEC. I tell people all the time, before you invest in anyone, go to the SEC site, plug their name in there, their name will confirm to you, get a confirmation these guys are registered and their license is valid and up to date. So make sure you do that before you invest. Yeah.
Okay, and last one. You say your product is only with Nigeria banks or foreign companies as well. So I want to know, like, if I want to invest with, let's say Tesla, any foreign company, apart from Nigeria banks, you have something like that.
So are you saying if you want to invest?
I think he's talking about shares. He's talking about equities now.
Oh, okay. So currently we don't have that running, but it's actually in the pipeline to allow users access foreign stocks like Tesla, Apple. So we actually have we have conversations on that going on, but currently we don't offer that.
Okay, I think I'm going to wait for that because investing in Nigeria bag is like throwing your money away, to be honest.
All right.
Shares.
Got
it. For there until now. So thank you.
You're very welcome. So let's go back to investing and how treasury should work, right? And I'm just talking now to the folks that are tuning to understand how to optimize cash flow. Remember, guys, if you're an entrepreneur and SME, lots of times you have a great idea or you are not a finance person. So we're trying to make sure you understand how the flow occurs. When you start a business, you are taking capital. You are borrowing capital or you have your own capital and you are deploying that capital to a business. You are investing your cash, right, ahead of time. You put your cash ahead of time. You buy tables, you buy computers, you buy chairs, and then you start a business. When you start the business, customers are going to pay you revenues, right? That revenue can be cash, it can be non-cash. The whole idea of treasury management is that you do not want to hold cash in your account earning zero. That is you not maximizing the cash in your portfolio. You want to invest every excess cash. But the problem is that when you invest all your excess cash, you run against the risk of liquidity, which means any need for cash that you might not have anticipated that occurs when you have invested, you run the risk that you have to go sell down your investments to become liquid. Hence, treasury is trying to balance this, investing your liquid cash to earn a return, but also having cash on hand as working capital. The way the big boys do it is to have, should we say, treasury guys that manage this flow of their liquid cash and what they're investing. We're bringing it down now to you, and we're saying if you're a small business, you have this app available now. If you sell, you put your money in the bank, you can take a week and just say, okay, I'm going to invest all this money into the Sprout app, right? And it's there for you. If you have a need that you did not anticipate next month or next week, you simply go in there, you take out cash and you pay. You go from Sprout back to your bank account and you pay. You want to optimize the cash that you have. You don't want to hold cash. Holding cash is negative because it doesn't pay you anything. But investing 100% cash means that you are not liquid. And if you're not liquid, you may go out of business if you can't pay taxes, dues, and even your power supply. So a balancing act, and Sprout is trying to help you do that balancing act, right? So I've got Enna. Enna, welcome to the party. What's on your mind?
Thank you. Yeah, the benefit of software or apps to businesses, because 80% of businesses which lose their data never recover. And so the greatest benefit of having time is the data analytics. You'll be able to analyze and to look. Amazon is a data company. When the age of data, they say gold, data is the new gold. Amazon earned $406 billion for last year. So don't just look at the money, because one of the challenges that Nigeria faces is that we have the wrong thinking cap. We're looking at money. It's not by money. We've earned so much money from crude oil, like Norway. Norway earned 1.6. Norway discovered oil in 1967. Today they have $1.6 trillion. So it's not just about earning the money, but being able to have a consistent outlook to see and to gather the data, to do the right analytics, to get information, and have actionable intelligence to take the right decision. So I'll say, aim for the data, look at the data, look at what's happening, try to also understand the pestle analysis to know what's happening politically, economically, socially, technologically, environmentally, and legally. That's just my first introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Bosola, he said a lot there. I liked what he said about the data. So like if I'm an SME guy and I do all these transfers back and forth, do I get a report like every quarter, or do I get a report to say, this is who I paid, this is what I invested? Do I get that kind of report on my taxes? Is that possible with a Sprout?
Yeah, so for Sprout, clearly you can report on your investments, like the multiple investments you put in, the interests they've gained, the tenure. It's basically like an account statement that can show you like clearly what your inflows and outflows have been and the returns that you generated. So it's definitely something you can access on Sprout.
Yeah, so that way I can know, hey, I invested this time.
Keep track.
Yeah, you can keep track of what's going on and then see what action you should take if rates change and all that. That is fantastic.
Exactly.
I had a guy, but he's dropped off, and I wanted to speak. So yeah, Obi, go for it.
Hi, Bosola. Well done. Okay, so questions. One is, are there any dollar-denominated instruments on the platform? Because they're all I think all I hear is Naira. That's one of the questions I have.
Oh, okay. So this is for Sprout, right?
Yes. Because of course you have businesses. I'm sure there are businesses that have dollars, of course, probably sitting in their account and doing nothing. Is there also a way they can also invest and to get some return rather than just leaving it in their account? So that's why I asked that question.
Okay, awesome. We currently don't have outlets. We currently don't have a dollar product yet, but it's one of the things that we are looking to launch very soon. And that would be onboarded on the platform very, very soon. And I completely agree with you, right? I've spoken to a lot of people that they have this amount of dollars in the bank and it's at 1%, and it's pretty ridiculous. So very soon we're actually looking at onboarding a dollar fixed product. So the way it would work is, if you want to maybe invest your dollar amount for like 90 days, we would offer you an interest rate that is very competitive with like your bank and other outlets that you could possibly get.
So that way, excellent. So I could invest my Naira or invest my dollars, same treasury management. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. So another question now would be, you talked about the aggressive investors, and I just wanted to be clear, are these for only long-term investment, aggressive investors?
Well, so it depends. I think every investor has their own particular investment horizon.
Yeah.
So, the normal rule of thumb is that if you are going to invest in like shares, if you look at the investment horizon spectrum for the several assets you have in financial markets, the rule of thumb is if you're investing for shares, other riskier assets like alternative investment, venture capital, the advice is that you keep it for long. And the reasoning behind that is that if you are keeping an asset for long, you are able to, and especially if you don't have a lot of your money, I'm not going to say you put 100% of your wealth in shares. No, I'm not saying that. And if you are someone that you don't have a lot of like your money in like aggressive investments, or let's say you still have money in like conservative investments that can help with like your day-to-day standard of living, then you are able to like tolerate when markets go up or down. Like everybody that bought US shares has been crying.
They are crying now.
They are crying.
Don't remind us.
But I mean, but so like the point is that if you bought US shares and that was your objective, you're fine. I mean, you're okay. Shares have gone down and will go down. But if your objective is long term, 5 years, it's a discount. It's a discount on the prices for you. If you're a corporate guy and you live in an economy that rates change, inflation is very volatile, and you're not sure of bills that would come. You can plan to pay this bill, but you're not sure of the amount of the bills. I think a treasury arrangement that gives you flexibility is more important than a bank account that pays you a return. I mean, having liquidity is more important in certain markets than having a return. So it's very, very important that SMEs collapse onto that flexibility and liquidity argument. Without liquidity, you will run out of business. Your product doesn't really matter if you can't pay your bills. Very, very important point. Yeah. So yeah, you should go for it.
Thank you. So yeah, just also adding to maybe build up to the question, following to what Carlo just said. So you talked about people you can withdraw. I know Carlo had made reference to, I'm a business person, I suddenly get a LASA fine, or a fine just comes in the following day after I just put in my money to Sprout. Now, will there be charges if I have to withdraw? I know you had talked about that. So is there a minimum investment time frame that it must be, if you have to keep the fund for 3 months minimum, and if you have to withdraw less than, I know usually there are charges that come with those things. So but in this case, is there a charge? Because I know a lot of people will be interested to know that.
Okay, so
and if there is a charge, what's the percentage?
Okay, so currently for the mutual funds for the money market mutual funds that we have in Sprout, there is no minimum holding period. Like you have to hold for 30 days, 60 days.
Wow.
There's none of that, and there's no mutual funds product. There's no penalty fee if you want to take it out now. The only fees are really the payment processing, right? And that is even capped at maybe 500 naira or something. But that's just when you're putting in money, payment charges really, because we use the activity, or we use the platform of payment service providers and banks who would charge for transfer. So that's really just what that 500 naira deals with. But per core investing, no, there are no charges and no minimum holding period.
So
great. That's interesting.
So Bisola, so this is like a quote unquote working capital account without COT.
Exactly.
No COT in this account. So why would I keep my money with the bank if I can do this with you guys? What's the catch? I'm just asking, as this question out there. What's the catch? I mean, I've not found anything that will keep me not to open an account tomorrow with Cowrywise Sprout to just manage my day to day, because the money ends higher. It has no fees. I can get access to it anytime and I control it. So what's the catch?
Yeah, actually. Wait, is that a question that
Yeah, I'm saying it's still good. It's rather good. It's a rather good product. Good job, you guys.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. And it really considers the business of democratizing access to wealth building. We don't believe it should be the 1% of businesses. You don't have to own Dangote Industries to get a better return. You don't have to own property. You really don't. An SME and MESME startup, you can use Sprout. And like I said, we leverage on technology, we leverage on the fact that we can pull investments together and on your behalf, get a better deal from these several investment outlets. So it's really, Sprout is really something that is going to be it's super useful to people that have businesses And it's just a word of banks. I mean, I love banks, but what people need to realize is that banks, they make money in a major, several ways, right? But the major way is they collect deposits and they give out loans. So it's in a bank's best interest to ensure that the interest cost, because the percent they are putting for you on your fixed deposit, so is an interest cost to them. So it's in their best interest to ensure that that cost is like really low, and the rate at which they give loans is really high. So they are taking that spread. So if you keep your money in the bank, right, it's not exactly in your best interest because they already want to offer you low rates so they can lend at double digit and cash out. And today you're seeing a bank is declaring 200 billion naira profit in a year. You're confused how that's happening. That is how it happens, right? So what's Sprout is, we are an asset manager. We have opportunities to negotiate better terms with banks. We have opportunities to tap into capital market activities. If a credible issuer is coming to raise, like via commercial paper issuance, whatnot. So like, we're actually in the best position to like manage your money in the best possible way. So I really think that Sprout was created to be a game changer. So if in our case, if it's not going to be true, then it probably
is. Yeah, good answer. Let me have Ajimoko Deji come in and hop in. Ajimoko, what's up?
Good evening.
Hey, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm actually calling from Dakar.
Dakar, Senegal. Nice. Have you heard of Sprout or Cowrywise before this?
Okay, not at all. I just joined this particular space and I realized that you are talking about investment, and that caught my attention. So I have a question that I actually want to ask.
Go for it.
So that I'll be able to get it clear. All right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Okay. So, can somebody invest with a foreign currency? That's number one. Number two, what is the advantage? What are the other products that you have that we can actually invest, even if it is you are investing in Naira? What are the other products that we can actually buy, and what are the interests that is attached to sell product? So that's my question.
Bosala has given you he has teed it up for you to just run riot, right? He's asking, can he invest via foreign currency into this product? And number two, if he cannot, what else can he invest in? That's what he's asking. There's a time lag in this account, but I think I got his question. Go for it.
Okay, so I wanted to be sure if the foreign currency he's speaking about, is it USD?
Let's assume it's USD. He's in Senegal. I'm not sure. Okay. USD is going to be the reserve currency. Let's assume it's USD.
Yeah. USD is the global currency. So I think it also relates to what I mentioned earlier, where currently Sprout doesn't have dollar investment, but it's something that we are looking to launch soon. And when that is rolled out, we'll publicize it extensively to the.
But let me ask you, Bosola, if I was in the US and I wanted to invest and I sent dollars, could I translate it to Naira? Could I change it into Naira? Is it possible to send you the currency, that SEFA or whatever, then it gets changed to Naira and can invest? Is it possible officially through you guys? Currently not possible? Okay, just asking. Okay, go for it. So the second question he was asking was if this is not going to be possible to invest via foreign currency, then what other Nigerian products do you then have? If you want to send him a DM or you want to talk to him right here, he's right here.
Okay, I think I can definitely send him a DM and we can further the conversation. But currently for Sprout, it's Naira denominated products that we offer for businesses. So we have different money market funds, and then we also have fixed notes coming up, like fixed tenor investments. So that's what we have. But I feel maybe if we don't tackle the issue of currency first, then it would be hard for them to like take advantage of whatever product that we have, whether it's even for businesses or it's even for retail investors. But
Gotcha.
I think I would reach out to them after this, and my team will reach out to them.
Yeah. Well, so let's do an exercise real quick, right? If I had $1 million to invest right now, let me just walk you through the yield curve in Nigeria, just through the yield curve. I'm going to do treasury bills. I'm going to do bank fixed deposits, right? And I'm going to do Sprout. Let's just do three of them, right? So I want to invest $1 million in treasury bills. How much would I earn in 3 months? The percentage. What's they're offering for, say, $1 million? What would the treasury bill? If I walk into a bank, and treasury bills are the safest investments in Nigeria, right? Nigerian treasury bills are the safest investments. So what will the safest investment pay me now? And it's for 91 days. What would I get in percentage?
For 91 days, you would get probably 2.5%.
2.5%. So you are saying that even the 2.5%, I have to still prorate it for 91 days. So this is 2.5% per annum.
Yeah.
Okay. Per annum.
For 91 days, yeah.
What if I walk into a grade A Nigerian bank, and I had to invest tier one Nigerian bank, and I want to invest $1 million with them as well? How much will that bank pay me? Tier 1 Nigerian bank. Per annum, yeah. I mean, ballpark figure, yeah.
If tier 1 bank, well, for $1 million, tier 1 bank will probably be around 2 to 3. And that's if maybe I'm even keeping it for like a long time. Like
interesting.
A very long time. Like the $1 million, like you can get maybe 2 to 3.
So 3% on that yield curve is going higher. I get much higher. 3% from a tier 1 bank, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other short-term investments on my yield curve. What I have now is now going to be bonds, which is more than 1 year. So it's not money market. But what about commercial paper? Maybe if I had a commercial paper, like, do you have a range for a commercial paper you want to share? Do you have any? Before we then talk about the Sprout return.
Okay, so I think for commercial papers, right? For commercial papers, it depends on the grade of issuer.
Mm-hmm.
So if a company like MTN or like Dangote, they're coming to raise money from the market for, let's say, 180 to 360 days, they will most likely offer about 7%, 7.5. But then if you have like a riskier issuer, the issuer would maybe be able to offer maybe let's say 10 thereabout. Based on the risk.
Gotcha.
Yes, but a very, very important fact is that with 1 million you cannot invest directly. You need someone like us.
Okay. So we can we do a mix? So okay, let's first of all get your own rate. What is going to be the rate if I had $1 million to invest in the Sprout app? What would I earn What would I earn? The same thing. So we have 2.5% for treasury bills. Treasury bills are 91-day investment. You've quoted 2.5% average for a 91-day prorated, guys. For fixed deposit, we got 2 to 3% also per annum, but prorated to, it could be for 90 days as well. Then let's talk about Sprout. If I did $1 million in Sprout for 3 months, what would I earn?
So if you invested through us and in any of the funds that we currently offer on our platform, you can get as high as 8.5 currently, as high as 8.5 per annum. And that is because we deal with, like us and the fund managers, we have the ability to pull a lot. Like, we are not the only one bringing in 1 million, like several other people are bringing in 1 million. And little drops make a mighty ocean. And we are able to collect all that money together and have like a huge sum that we can now take advantage of these opportunities to buy, commercial papers or to go to a bank and say, do you know what? I have $1 billion naira. Like, a bank will offer me a very, very good return if I bring in $1 billion naira. And that is my 1 billion is a collection of
I hear you.
1 billion.
I hear you. So, but I hear where you're going to, and I'm going to address that. But what's the quote you'd give me if I stepped in? Yeah. I mean, for like, let's say I'm a moderate guy. I'm not too aggressive. I'm not too conservative. I'm in the middle. What am I looking at?
That would be currently you would get up to like 8.5%. But I just have to add that interest rates go up and go down. So they have rates that are fixed.
So about 8.5. But sorry about that, guys. But the point you're making is that to buy treasury bills and all, I cannot invest $1 million in treasury bills. Directly, you cannot. This is the kicker. So that even if I'm getting a higher rate, right, from say treasury bills and all that, I can't invest my $1 million. I have to do 50 million or something like that. But, But with the Sprout, I can do $1 million and I instantly get the same rate that Dangote or a corporate is getting because I'm investing as a group. So they pull my funds together and I get that same high rate. This is the key for treasury. That's why we tag the space for SMEs, because corporates know how to get the higher rate of return on treasury bills. But for the SMEs, the guys that are just starting out, you can't be doing 2-3%, man. Inflation is going to kill you alive. So we want to essentially try to bridge the gap between inflation and the gap between what your bank is paying you. And if you're going to get about 6, 7, 8%, right, as a currently, that is better than chasing, what you might not get. And I see lots of guys sending me DMs saying, these guys are going to pay you 17%. This guy is going to pay you more. The point is this: are those guys registered? Can you go to sleep knowing that you give these guys your money? So I have an account. If I have an account that pays me 45% per day, they say they are doing crypto staking. But the money I put there is money I've already said I've lost the money. You can't compare a non-registered firm with a registered firm. You should not, as a business, chase returns. Don't do it. Don't take your principal and chase returns. Your job is to grow your business, your brand, to create a product, to pay your employees. Your job is not to invest your principal or your capital that was given to you by your investors in chasing returns, right? If you want to do that, you should get a license as a trader and then chase returns. If you have a company that you want to make t-shirts or shoes, your job is to make the best shoe or the best t-shirt. It's not to chase returns. So outsource this to the experts, because one thing Busla has not told you is that they have experts at Cowrywise. They are registered as fund managers with SEC. So those experts there will manage your portfolio for you. You focus on what you're good at, which is making shoes or t-shirts. Let those experts deal with the market for you and get you a higher rate. Do not chase or do not invest what you do not know about. A few days ago, we all were here. We lost a lot of money staking with Luna or whatever the name is, right? That money is gone, or more or less, because we don't really know it, right? So we have to be careful and invest according to our risk profile, our level of knowledge and information, and where we are not sure or where we do not know all the facts, outsource to the managers like Busola and Cowrywise. Right, Busola?
Yeah, correct. I think there's the beauty in regulation, or the beauty in investing with the person like us, that we are licensed by regulators, that you have like an extra layer of protection. Mm-hmm. You have a regulatory watchdog that is watching our every move, mm-hmm. and has access to, like, they can see what we are investing in. There is like no shortcuts. We can't even do that. Like, it's not even possible, because we have a regulator that periodically screens what we invest in. Is it in line with what our investment policy statement is? So as an investor, you have that extra level of security when you are investing with Cowrywise.
Excellent. Good job. Love that. All right. So I just want to take us through. But let me ask you a question just generally, right? Just generally as regards the economy, right? Would you say that the biggest need for an SME right now is more or less inflation, or is it more or less, say, just general lack of demand? I mean, from your interaction with these SMEs, what do you think is hurting? Is it that the costs are just going out of sync, or that there's no demand really for the product that you're making? If I'm selling, say, dishwash liquid, right? Is it that the costs are just too high for me to even buy my inputs, or no one is even buying even when I do bring them to market? What do you think?
So I honestly think it's a mix of the two, but the first point you raised is the biggest. Inflation is such a huge headache. Like, it's such a huge headache for people, for businesses. If you're a bakery, you are probably buying like a bag of flour at maybe I don't know much about the bakery market, right? So let's say you're buying a bag of flour at 5,000 naira, and then next week it has gone to 1,000. And because you are trying to make a profit, you are trying to maintain your margins. What you usually do is to increase your prices. But if you increase your prices, there's a possibility that you may not make as much sales. Yeah. So you're in a conundrum, right? Like, you really do. And again, it depends on the industry. Unfortunately for you, if you play in an industry that is very saturated, there are many competitors, like many people are offering what you are offering. Like, it's a fragmented industry. It's very hard for you to increase your prices when you can lose buyers, and buyers just go to like the next best person who have lower quality than you, but people don't care, it's cheaper, they will buy. So I really think the inflation angle is really hurting a lot of businesses, and it's not just in Nigeria. Like, you are watching CNBC today and you're hearing tech layoffs. People are laying off people. We are hearing cost of production is going up for everybody in the world, and kind of is worse for us here because we have underlying structural issues that we haven't dealt with, and foreign exchange issues as well that just compounds everything. So I think for a business, the cost angle is really, really hard, and I've seen instances where it's hard to pass those costs down to your consumers if you don't offer a product that is that competitive. So honestly, and again, that's why everybody has to look for what are the other areas of revenue that can at least plug in and help, even if I don't sell as much with what I've sold, if I'm not ready to pour it back into the business, and then, put it in Sprout and earn like decent yields, which is additional income that can plug it into my product. So it's a struggle.
It's a tough world out there for an entrepreneur. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur in Nigeria, you need a hug, you need Jesus, you need everything. It's tough out there. Yeah, I applaud them all. Emi Obiabo, how are you doing today? Can you hear me, sir? Emi, you can just unmute and I can have you speak. Yeah, Ikechukwu, I see you laughing. It's tough. I know. How do you guys in Aba cope? No power, no roads. You guys are the SME, should we say, capital in Nigeria. I just wonder how you guys do it. Day in, day out, you go out to sell. It's crazy. Obiabo, how you doing? Welcome to those spaces. What's on your mind, sir?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm actually so amazed as to the offer they mentioned that there is no, will I say, an holding period. So you can actually, you don't have to wait for 30 days, 60 days or thereabouts. So I'm so amazed, and I'm also excited to know that Kalu Aja is also behind this because I follow you a lot, and I can tell you for free that so many people will jump at this offer because you are more like the umpire for genuine investment and all. So I just wanted to put this out there, and thank you to the rest of the Cowrywise team for what you do.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Do you use Sprout though? Do you use Cowrywise? Have you heard of them? Just wanted to get I'm running a quick poll here.
I've heard of Cowrywise,
Yeah.
but I haven't.
Gotcha.
But in the course of joining this space, I had to quickly download it, and afterwards, I'm going to key into it.
Nice.
Yes, I'm also a owner. I run a store, 1129 store. We deal in stuff and fast-moving consumer goods. And
it's like a physical store.
Yeah, it's brick and mortar, physical.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's almost like everything you mention is like my practical experience. I'm just telling my wife that when we started out the store, we usually buy a bag of sugar for 14,000 to supply to people that use it and all, because we are a wholesaler and a retailer as well. And as I speak to you now, I'm getting that for almost 28,000. That's double the price. And by saying when I started, that was in June of 2020. So you can imagine. So it's more like hitting us in the face. And just to add, we don't have that luxury to keep just keep the money in the account and just line file and all. So if I have to keep money in the account to sit, I needed to actually get some 1 naira, 2 naira on it. And so I think this is a good offer. Yes.
Excellent. Good. Where are you calling from though? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abuja.
Abuja, and the shop is in Abuja?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Good to hear you guys are doing well in Abuja and your help are doing well. I mean, my heart goes out to you guys. You guys are the ones in the field, quote unquote, that are doing this job in an economy like Nigeria with high inflation, low wages, low demand. It's tough. So you guys that are doing this, I mean, well done. That's all I can say. Yeah. Any way we can help, we're trying to help you guys to just give you information.
Just to shoot my shot as well. I sent you a DM and you haven't responded.
Send me on that DM. Maybe I'll respond now.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. All right, I have Agbo. Agbo, how you doing? I'm hearing feedback.
Okay.
You didn't know you joined. All right, hi guys. So welcome back, guys. Can you guys hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had to mute. I had feedback on the mic. I had to mute everyone. So yeah, hey, welcome back. Okay, so Agbo, I added you. I've got Mohammed Shina. See, his name's great. You can unmute and go ahead, sir. What's on your mind? Sorry, the Twitter names are hard to read sometimes, so I gotta read them out. I don't want to destroy the names, so I do apologize. Mohammed, how you doing? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk to us about? You can just go ahead and unmute if you can hear me. Thank you. But sorry, before he does, right? So I mean, I've used Cowrywise for quite a bit. I think I've known you guys for quite a bit. I like the focus on mutual funds. That's the part I do see you guys as being different. It's this focus on mutual funds, allowing people to invest as a group, as a lower cost. I like that a lot, right? So if you do have a few seconds to talk just about the mutual funds, just how you guys have set it all up. You can choose if you're a high risk person and invest in equities. You can choose if you're a low risk person and invest in money market funds. I do like that. And I think the way you guys are bringing this now to the corporate space, attaching to treasury is excellent. If you don't want to take a minute just to speak about that, that would also work for me. Could you do that?
Yeah, awesome. So I think mutual funds are such a beautiful way to invest, because mutual funds basically just means mutual funds, money together in a fund investing. And I think the goal is, so first of all, there's professional management. Let's say you want to invest in shares, right? And one thing that you need when it comes to investing and when it comes to financial markets, you need knowledge. you need understanding. And the truth is, if you're not a core finance expert, like your knowledge is limited, right? And one thing I realized, like, so good companies can make good stocks, but at the same time they can make bad stocks, because there are situations where you have a good company, the price is 400, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this company, I'm seeing their product every day, but you're not a professional, so you haven't done like a deep analysis, and you don't know whether that 400 is actually an overvalued price, like if you look at the future prospects of the company, right? But this is where professional fund managers come in. Like, these are people with qualifications, experiences, knowledge of like the Nigerian market. They understand the equity market. They know where to play, who they should buy or sell, or they have like that's their day-to-day. That's their core job. Like, your job as an investor, you don't need to do all that nitty-gritty. Those people are there. They have tools, right, to lead up proper investment decision making. And that's where mutual funds come in. You can all pull your money into a fund that is being professionally managed by a fund manager that has the right license and the right regulation, and also the right people that can manage your fund effectively, and earn you a return that would be acceptable for the risk that you are taking. So that's really it. It's the professional management.
Yeah.
It's the simplicity of investing, and it's also the ability to give you access to things that you ordinarily would not have had access to if you try to. Like you said, like investing in a bond directly is like 50 million naira. You will not have access to that like directly, but you have a fund manager that can pull money from like many people, and then create like a bond fund where they can go to capital market, buy bonds that are underpriced. Like I said, knowledge is super important. These people are trained experts in financial markets, and we think so. For us at Cowrywise, we're really trying to promote, and then lest I forget, mutual funds also offer you diversification. Like, I see people put all their money in one stock. Like, if that stock goes down 50%, like that is terrible.
Yeah.
That's extremely terrible. But mutual funds offer, there are many stocks in the pool. So, if a stock goes up, it can even be countered. If a stock goes down, rather, it can be countered by like another stock in the portfolio that is going up. So you have people that are professionals in that space, and those funds offer you diversification. So it's really a huge tool that people are used to invest, and that's why at Cowrywise we really try and push like the adoption of mutual funds.
Yeah, but so I gotta let you go. I mean, it's we've been here for people to take an hour, 30 minutes, right? And yeah, but let me just ask you a question, right? Just general knowledge. In an inflationary period, if I'm an SME, does it make sense for me to prepay my bills? So if I pay rent, or I pay utilities, or I pay whatever it is, right? In an inflationary period, does it make sense? If I want to avoid inflation, should I like prepay, so that way I transfer my cash from cash to services? So I reduce my cash holding, but I get advanced use of those facilities. Is that a good idea?
I think it does. It does sound, because if it's possible, because what you are buying now can be worth
more tomorrow, right?
It can be worth more tomorrow. It's completely crazy. It can actually be worth more tomorrow. So if you have the capacity right now to like stock up on maybe inventory that you can use in the future, then obviously that would be a good time, because prices are going up. Prices are going up globally. They are going up in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, like, there are several issues. There is insecurity affecting food prices.
Yeah.
There is FX shortage that is affecting like the prices of imported items. Like, there is so much going on in this country. So I would say definitely, if it's possible that you can, buy what you need to buy now, then that would definitely sound like a good strategy. But I mean, you can also, so I think for a business, it's also possible for you to maybe delay payments. But it would make sense is if the delay payments, when the money you want to use to pay, like, then you go and invest it, and that can earn you some return till you want to, pay whatever obligation that you have.
Yeah.
But you just really have to be careful how you manage that cash so that at least you are on the better side of things in the climate that we're in.
And that's the treasury money we're talking about. Delaying cash going out, where else to invest, but then cash you have to pay. See if you can maybe prepay and all that kind of stuff. I did read today that Russia is asking that is saying going forward, its grain and commodities will be paid for in rubles, just like they've done with the oil, and it will only go to friendly nations, and it will only go to nations that need it the most. So it's going to be like a scale of preference. I interpret that to say, like, if they're going to sell grain, they will sell more to the friendly. That means the non-EU, non-Western folks, and they have to buy in rubles. So I'm still trying to figure out, I know the Ukraine war is going to cause an increase in the cost of food, and food is inputs. So this might help a bit, but it just adds to the uncertainty out there for businesses. So I would say, holding cash, even the dollar, is still high inflationary. It's 8.3%. If you're importing anything, you're going to pay importing dollar, you're going to pay that imported cost. So really planning out your cash. I would say if you could pay, I like the idea of prepayments. You're locking that service. If it's a service that you're always going to have to do, lock that in, get out of cash completely, and where you can invest, but it's going to be good advice. You've got to watch the cash now. Profit is not cash profit, and cash profit really is where you get hammered. So that's just the little advice I'll say. Busola, I know you have to go. I'm going to be here for a bit in case folks want to speak. Agbo, your hand is up. Do you have a comment to make?
Yeah, fantastic. So sorry. I think your network interrupted. Thank you, Carl. I think I wanted to ask, can we have a one-on-one with her, or her team much later? Is there a way to have that kind of conversation beyond this space?
With Cowrywise?
Yes.
Yeah, ask her. Send her a DM.
Yeah, definitely. You can reach us like via Twitter DM, and we're happy. Any one of our team members, can get across to you and give you answers to any question or any areas of clarification that you might need. But yeah, we're definitely just reach out to us. We'll definitely be able to answer you.
If you send me a DM, I can forward to them as well. So any which way, we'll make sure it gets to them. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. So guys, I'm going to be here for the next, maybe I'll say 30 minutes. We're going to let Busola go. I know it's about 9:30 p.m. in West Africa. So thank you so much for accepting to come in, Busola, for talking to us about Sprout. Just to recap again for those just joining, Sprout is an app or brand by Cowrywise. It allows you to do treasury. And what is treasury? That is investing your cash, your excess cash. But most importantly, for a country like Nigeria, it allows you to invest your excess cash, but at less amount that you would have if you try to go to a commercial bank. So you get higher rates, but at a low entry barrier. You can get a higher rate, but you can invest lower amounts, right? There are no fees for withdrawing. There are no fees for investing. There's no cost of transactions, and you have the flexibility to choose from many funds that are on that website. So essentially, if you're like an SME guy or an entrepreneur and you have all this cash and you're not sure of your expenses going forward, you could put it over at Sprout. It earns you interest. You can take it out anytime you want it and not pay any carry costs or any fees on the front end or at the back end. And of course, you're earning an APR and that is APY that is higher than what you'd get from a traditional bank. Busola, how did I do?
Yeah. Solid.
Excellent. All right. So you can just say, just give your closing remarks, and then we'll be here with the other guests that want to listen in. We'll talk about investments and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us on this space. I think it was really interesting for us to share our knowledge to people. And the beauty of our product, we are in the business of creating wealth for people, for businesses, and that's really our mantra is that we want to make wealth building as simple as saying a tweet. So definitely Sprout is something that is going to be a game changer for your business as a business owner. Simple, easy to use interface, with people that are licensed by the appropriate regulatory bodies and also offering attractive investments. So I think it's definitely something that is going to be beneficial to several people. We have a lot of people using the core Cowrywise app, so you already know like the level of awesomeness that we bring, and then definitely take advantage of it. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to send us a DM on our social media channels, and we'll definitely be able to answer whatever you might. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. I will just stick around for like maybe 5 minutes before I drop off. But it was wonderful like conversing with everybody, and we definitely should do this again.
I'm always open. Yeah, come in and talk. But Busola, also, if you're listening and you belong to this WhatsApp group or business group, or like I know I belong to many business groups that people pull together funds and do importation or invest money abroad. If you belong to any of those groups and want Sprout to come talk to your group, or you want more specific information or customization, send them a DM or send me a DM. I'll forward to them. They want to come talk to those groups of people like to introduce that service, and they really like people say, very, very awesome and very flexible. They would work with you. So it's not a product marked out in black and white. They would work with you to accomplish what you want to do. So if you want to reach out to them, please send a DM to myself or to a Cowrywise DM preferably, and then they will get across to you. That is yeah.
And I also want to add that, if you work in a business as a finance person or, in a finance team or as a CFO, and you think this is something that your organization can take advantage of, please feel free to reach out. We can always set up like a meeting and even have like a live demo of like the Sprout platform and just, clarify any concerns that you might have as a finance person. But yeah, that works.
Excellent. So that way you can come and you can do a demo and all that. Ajimoke, you hop back in. Did you have a final question before I let Busola go?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you once again for adding me. Okay. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lag. Yeah. Okay. Let me just go on. I'm sure there is a lag, maybe because of the network. I just downloaded the app for this particular company, Cowrywise. Okay. Now I saw some products under the mutual fund investment on their product. Now I actually want to know the difference between ARM, fixed income fund, and ARM, ethical fund, because I can see here that the fixed income fund is 3.81% year-to-date return, and the aggressive return is 11.78% year-to-date return.
I got you.
So what is the difference?
I got you. Busola, let me say, you can go if you want to. I can take this question or you can answer it. It's your call.
I'm fine to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for your question. So the ethical fund is actually an ethical fund that conforms to halal principles. So they don't invest in companies that maybe deal with like tobacco or gun making or all that sort. But the key difference is the ethical fund actually has stocks inside, while the fixed income fund does not have stock exposure. It's purely a fixed income fund. So they invest in Nigerian bonds, commercial corporate bonds, money market. But for the ethical fund, like they have a huge proportion in like shares, equity that conform to halal principles. And if you've been following like Nigeria's equity market from like beginning of the year to now, the equity market has actually done considerably well. I think we're up maybe 20% year to date or in that range. So that is why the year to date return on the ethical fund is higher, because it has exposure to like equities, and the fixed income fund is just purely a fixed income securities. So that's the core difference.
All right, thank you. Sorry, before you go, that percentage attached to those products, are they guaranteed percentage? For example, the equity fund, I saw 11. Is it a guaranteed percentage?
No, please, running from anything that is guaranteed. No, it's not. So basically, those percentages are yet to date return, which means that investors that have stayed from 31st December 2021 till now, those are the returns that they've earned. But it's not guaranteed. Stock prices go up. Someone on the call mentioned that he has held stocks for a while, and the stocks, I think the price, maybe he bought it at maybe a higher price, and now the prices are much lower than when he bought it, and then he's saying that there's a loss. And that happens with stocks. Stocks can go up, they can go down, but that's why you give it to a professional that understands like the market and the timing and looks at all the fundamentals and can make like a profitable investment decision. So the returns are not guaranteed. They can change, subject to the performance of the broad market and the fund manager's capabilities.
Yeah, so just to emphasize the point she's making, right? Anytime you see any company, quote unquote, that is registered, that says they're an investment manager, right? And they say they are SEC approved, but it's telling you can get a guaranteed return on your investment. You want to put a red flag across the board there, right? You can't guarantee equity. Even the fixed income is going to be, the returns you're seeing are what they occurred in the past. So there's a word that where we say past performance is not a guarantee of future return, but it does give you like markers, and they give you for the 3 years. So you can say for the last 3 years, this is what that particular fund has done. Just to be clear, yeah. Does that work for you?
All right, thank you. Excellent. Thank you. I think that's clear enough.
Let me help you out.
I sent DM to to Cowrywise.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take it up from there. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just also help you out in terms of returns, right? If you looked at the entire world, and you looked at exchange traded funds, you looked at mutual funds, right? In the entire world, let's say for the last 5 years, or even 10 years, let's just say 5 years, which one has done the most? This is past performance. Which one has done the most in the entire world, right? If you looked at equities, if you looked at the VTI, so the VTI is what's called an exchange traded fund, or just say a fund that invests in equities. That's giving you the highest return. Globally, US stocks have performed the best in the entire world over a 5 and 10 year period. What's the next best investment? You're talking about US property, i.e. REITs that have done the second best in the world, 5 and 10 year. When you start coming to 1 year returns, you're not talking about commodities. Because of the Russia war, you have wheat and energy prices doing very, very well. But why I bring this up is this. If you go back just 5 years ago, crude oil was giving you negative return 3 years ago at minus 6.5. 3 years ago, crude oil was negative 6%. Now, crude oil is positive. Crude oil is the only asset class in the world right now that is making a return. So if you just simply invest based on the numbers or the returns, without having a perspective of time past, you might miss out if you understand the nuances of those asset classes, why this has gone up, that has come down, all that kind of stuff. So very important, you always try to speak, even if you're not going to invest with an investment manager, always speak with the manager to understand the broad outlines before you then put money in. All right, excellent. Busola, good chance for you to exit now, I hear. And I just want to thank you so much for being here, Busola, for giving us the time. Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you so much. All right, now. Bye, everyone.
All right, take care.
Bye.
All right, so guys, so we're back. We're still going to be here for quite a bit. We always here for about 2 hours, 3 hours, just talking investments, right? The whole week and all that, what's going on and all. The word right now is recession. That's the word you hear right now when you log into all those Western channels. Recession. The last US GDP print came out negative, right? Which means if the next GDP print comes out as negative, then officially the US is in a recession. But unofficially, lots of folks are already saying the US is in a recession, right? When you talk about, for instance, you talk about the guys that are Look at her latest song from what's her name? Jay-Z's wife. Who's gonna help me out here? Beyonce. Yeah, Beyonce had this brand new